invite the Director of Analytics for Schools, Jesus Camacho Morales, to the stage to say a few words.
My name is Jesus Camacho Morales. I'm the Director and Founder of Analytics for Schools. We are dedicated to transform the way that schools use data, all with a focus on improving learning and well-being and engagement. So this is our first ever conference, first ever network event. So 38 schools from across Victoria and New South Wales are joining us today to share how they're using our app, Maestro, to inform teaching practice. Today is all about sharing and comparing notes and collaboration. I believe that nothing important is achieved in isolation. So I believe in the power of collaboration. So when you put brilliant and great minds together, great things happen. So today is about they coming here and sharing their experiences with Maestro so far. We have schools that have been with us for 5-6 years and some others that they have recently joined, you know? So my idea is that they can share how they're doing with that, and it's all about the kids at the end, you know? How can we improve student learning, student performance, students' well-being?
Any topic that talks about day, because there are many schools it's a taboo subject and some teachers don't like a lot of the data stuff. To see such passion in that room and so much depth of understanding, and listening to those two presentations, the ways in which those schools see their students better because of what Jesus has done is quite remarkable, and it's not as common as we'd like it to be. So I hope this is the virus that scales up and spreads.
Have you attended to a lot of events of this type in Australia, or is it one of the first ones?
I did one of the more reasonably new ones. Most times, occasionally you get some data which is put up, but not talking about the level of depth and the amount of flexibility that you can do in the program and how it's grown from teacher requests and school requests is very unusual. Of course, schools are awash with data, but not used and hardly interpreted. But this is making a difference to kids' lives.
My name is Kristine Wolfe and I am Acting Assistant Principal at Alkira Secondary College. Maestro is informing our teacher practice. So we want teachers to know their students and teach students in our subjects. And so we have set up some protocols at our school where the dashboard is where we get teachers to start to identify who their students are so they can make the best data-informed decisions to further improve their outcomes. My favourite thing about Maestro is the flexibility of it. So I call you and you tell me what can be done and what can't with any data set that I give you. And so our dashboards are purposely designed for our school to meet our outcomes and what it is that we want to achieve for our teachers to make their work easier to better help improve our students' outcomes. Yeah, I'm really excited to see how other schools are using it and what tips and tricks you've given them to pull their data and what dashboards they have and how we could maybe take those and adapt those for our context to again elevate the work we're doing, particularly in engagement and wellbeing. I think we do quite a good job in the teaching and learning space, but to move into the engagement, wellbeing and behaviour space, I'm excited for that.
Daniel Coco. I'm from Narre Warren College, Narre Warren South P College. It's been a really good learning opportunity to see what some other schools are doing in their school contexts, and already taking some great ideas from the other people who have presented. I particularly like the assessment tracker and making sure that students are receiving feedback from their teachers. I've found it quite difficult to find that in the past, so we'll definitely be speaking to Jesus about incorporating that for future planning. I think so, yeah, working with Jesus across a few different schools and things that were in place prior to Maestro, using Excel spreadsheets with lots of conditional formatting. I think it was a lot of work but not much bang for buck, and I think now with him being able to bring us really clear visualizations, we can focus on the work that you want to see playing out within schools and spending our time a little bit more proactively in that space. No, I think it's a great initiative to bring schools together, and yeah, looking forward to the next one.
been captivated from start to finish. Every single different speaker from John through to the different schools, I've learned something new. I'm madly scribbling in my notebook. I'm thinking about how I can bring back some of those ideas to our own use of data analytics and Maestro. But yeah, it's just one of those great conferences where your brain's constantly on fire because of things being said, so free. Yeah, so one of the schools was talking particularly about how they're using it for student-led conferences, and I'll yank the SUP capacity at Reservoir to do something similar to that. And there was just some other general little things like just, looking at how many staff and students are actually reading reports and if not, what does that mean for us and how we can improve our assessments and things. But yeah, there's just, the thing with Maestro is there's so many possibilities. And when you get to be connected to other schools, they introduce ideas you hadn't thought about. Highlight for me, I think, is yet to come, and that will be Professor Lee Iltis. And the reason for that is with Jesus, we've introduced the self-efficacy and emotion survey, which we're just about to introduce. And so we'll have that, what I've said is the missing piece of our data and our evidence, because we've got all the student learning and learning growth data, understanding how they're actually experiencing learning and the emotions that they experience. That captures for us then the whole child. And from that, it's about, so what do we then do with that data? And so Lee, I think, will help to connect the next steps once we've got that. So the whole day, from start to finish, has just given me everything that I need to go to take that to my school and further our improvement work.
I'm Penelope Owens and I'm from Manor Lakes P12 College. So I have really enjoyed listening to what the other schools are doing with the dashboard. I think we will work within the same system, but it's nice to see what other schools are prioritising and focusing on. So I've got a few ideas from what I've seen today, which is really good. Nice to see. We joined Maestro a long time ago, but after COVID, we drifted away from the social and emotional surveys, mainly because when we came back, the kids were being exhausted with doing lots of different surveys, so we didn't do those. But I think we need to return to them because that's an area our kids are really struggling with, is their social and emotional regulation. So I saw some great evidence in there of schools using it still, so we need to return to that.
Julia Padgett from Kilvington Grammar School. It was such a triumph. I think getting everybody together in the same room to share practice and to hear what all the other schools are doing is what it's all about in education, because we want to be able to share what we're doing, not reinvent the wheel all the time. So I think this opportunity today to bring together some incredible schools doing some fabulous things with data was amazing. A lot of the wellbeing data, I think that's still an area for us for development. I think around academic data and standardised testing, I think we're doing quite well. But hearing from the schools today around the capabilities and outcomes and just understanding how we can make wellbeing data more visible. And I think what we do with that data as well, we're still obviously navigating that space around how we're going to respond to it and what the plans are. We're doing great things in wellbeing, but I think this afternoon's presentation from Lee really highlighted the importance of having a framework and then working within that framework to making sure that the goals and the clarity that you're then taking out to your school community is there. Look, I think the overall highlight for me was just seeing so many passionate educators in that room there together to share what they're doing and hear from others. I think it's always hard when you're being asked to share your practice because there's a sense of vulnerability that comes with that. You're having to share not only all the great things you're doing, but as our presenters showed today, the challenges and the vulnerabilities that can come with that. So I think the highlight for me is just the presentations today were so real.
Hi, my name's Professor Lee Waters. I'm the Director of Visible Wellbeing, a global school-wide program to help teachers and students boost their wellbeing. And I'm also a psychology researcher at the University of Melbourne. Stunning. The event was stunning. It was so inspiring to see the way schools are using the Maestro dashboard and making visible growth rates, NAPLAN scores, teacher observations, in my case, wellbeing metrics, and we can't create change unless we're able to really clearly see what's needed. And that happens through measurement, and it happens through clear data presented to us in a way that we understand it in a busy, time-compressed school. And I just saw so many fantastic examples of that today through the Maestro dashboard. I think the key is getting data from multiple stakeholders. So whether it's literacy data, numeracy data, it's wellbeing oriented, so we're looking at resilience or growth mindsets, whether we're looking at attendance, it's making sure that we've got data from at the school level, we've got data from teachers, we've got data from students, we've got data from parents, and then we triangulate that. So it's not so much that I would say there's one specific construct that I would like to see. What I would like to see is more of the various stakeholders all letting us know where they think people sit on the key indicators of school, and their learning indicators, engagement indicators, feeling safe, and the wellbeing indicators. Yeah, I think the main highlight was a community of educators coming together who understand the importance of data and who understand that getting data into schools on any different topic is key, and are willing to do that work and then bring the rest of the school along with them. And there's just a lot of joy and laughter and affirmation in the group.